Welcome everyone to the Sunday fan cams. I'm Pom. First cab off the rank as well is Mr. Leckus Doggers. This is brought to you by Northern Tiles. With over 30 years of tiling experience, whether it's indoor, outdoor, bathroom, whether you can't get down to Brisbane, you're going to redo your man area outside to entertain the family. Go on over to Northern Tile Distributors and sort out your tiles for some good family blue bagger fun. Leg Dog, Carlton won. Talk to me.
I mean, anyone who saw the fan cams on whatever night it was, I've blacked out since then. Knows I was a bit emotional, mate. It was a special night. It was a special night. It was a great experience. It's a memory I'll share with my dad forever, which was lovely. But most of all, it just reinforces the belief in this team. And they're not human, mate. They're beyond human. They're supernatural, these guys. Normal humans would have given up 2 weeks ago with the amount of fight that these guys have, but they just keep going and they keep finding a way. It's unbelievable.
There's something very ballsy about these Blues, isn't there? There's a real feeling that, like you say, I watched that game back, and I don't know how you felt, that dog and chat, but that first 4 minutes in that fourth quarter, that start they had in the first, they were all things we've seen before from this same group of men that they have put the cue in the rack and gone, nah, today's not the day. Especially that start where it felt like every mistake was capitalized on against, but they kept fighting. And there was that, they've really grown up. They've really now become a side that sees the challenge and relishes it. No longer are they scared. And like you say, it's maturity, it's growth.
Yeah, we lose that game by 70 points 2 years ago with the start that they had. And last year, we lose that game by 10 points or a kick. But this year, particularly the last 12, 13 weeks, we know that this team finds a way to win. And often there were moments of brilliance throughout the game from individuals, but broadly it was just heart and attack, and we wanted it more. And I'm sure we've all seen Andy Marr's call on the SEN Blues, but at the end of the game, Jake Lever didn't want it. He did not want that football. We wanted it, and we got it, and we won the game. Like, it's I feel like I've seen a few people this weekend, and they've all said I've got like this air of calm around me. Like, I am so content and happy and just proud of these guys. And I think you spoke about it. You feel like a proud dad, and it's just I don't know where you start. Like, I'm happy, Pom. I'm just happy, and I wasn't happy 12 weeks ago. I'm happy now.
Let Dog's not lying. I spend a lot of time with this man. I tell you, this guy was there was some dark places. Let Dog gone. And Stuart, spot on as well. Valet to a plethora of AFL icons that have unfortunately moved on. Don Nichols, Ron Barassi, Kevin the Cowboy Neal. Spot on, Stuart. The ins in the five-a-side heaven AFL has just gained 3 superstars. But I know, Let Dog, I agree with you. The happiness is something. There is a feeling, isn't there, now that the narrative is changing, not just in the media, in our fan base, in external fan bases. And I thought the biggest honour I've ever seen this football club be bestowed is how Melbourne went about playing football, that they wanted to intimidate us. They wanted to physical hurt us. They wanted to put us off their game, which is genuinely how you play a side that is better than you. You try and unnerve them. And our boys stood up to the task and never looked phased. To be fair, they looked like they were the more experienced side throughout, from start to finish. They looked less nervy, less fumbly, less overawed by the emotions.
Yeah, so obviously completely had a complete breakdown at the game on Friday. Watched the replay, cried about 3 times during the replay. Just raw emotion and joy, not sadness or anything, just pure ecstasy. And watching it the second time, I've had to watch it twice now. I thought that Melbourne were playing scared. They were playing, I don't know, fake tough guy. I know that gets thrown around a lot, but it looked like they were trying to, scare us and shock us early. And we know that these guys don't get scared anymore. They don't get shocked. They don't get scared. And we might lose a game before next year starts. I don't think we will. We might, but we know that we're not going to be scared at any point. These lads as a unit, and it flows through people playing on the 23 on the weekend. It flows through the coaching staff. It flows through the staff working at the member events beforehand. It flows through the guys who are the 40th best player on the list. There's no fear anymore. They've done it. They've achieved partially what they set out to do in 2015. They now believe because they've got the evidence, which we've been waiting so long for. And I've said this a few times this weekend, rising tide lifts all boats. And collectively, just the spirit in the club has risen, and every single person has risen with it. And where you wouldn't want to be playing us this weekend. I know it's up in Brisbane, and I know it's going to be really tough, but gee whiz, it's similar to GWS. You wouldn't want to play us this weekend.
Mate, you wouldn't want to. You're getting more philosophical the more I know you. Like, dog, rising tide.
I am a changed man after last weekend.
That was some Greek shit, that, mate. I tell you,
I've reached enlightenment, mate.
Nowhere.
I'm different. They changed me. Footy's no longer a sport to me. I'm seeing the Matrix, mate. There's numbers flowing through you could shoot a gun at me and I'd dodge out of the way, mate. Like, I'm on a different plane of existence, and this club took me there. So I'm just very content, mate.
Mate, I agree with you. And Let Dog, I think you said something that was really poignant there. I don't think people want to play us anymore. And I don't think there's many sides that have had the big distinction. I think coming from a golf background, one thing that all sportsmen have is respect for each other and understanding how hard it is. I don't remember many sides that have been the butt of jokes from fellow sportsmen. So what I mean by that, Jack Steele laughing in Sam Walsh's face when Sam Walsh said the aims to play finals. Post-game, Steele side bottom, laughing that Carlton kept kicking to Darcy more. When Cripper did that interview and it was responded to by Shy Bolton at the training ground going, Carlton, it's their grand final, it's not ours. Little things like that really, I think, hit you hard as a sportsman, that we don't often see the disrespect transcend to them levels. That I think these boys are playing with a hate as well, a real deep hate that even their fellow professionals turn their nose up at their hopes and aspirations. So I think now when you go out and play the boys, I reckon Cripps hears Shy Bolton mocking him. I reckon he hears when, Jack Steele did that look at his mates laughing. That's a real piss take. That is the kind of piss take that, when you hear a celebrity go, I'm a millionaire because year 11, my teacher told me I couldn't be a singer. That's that kind of intrinsic motivation that you are now fighting these boys. And these boys are like, I've got your respect. I'm here. Watch me fucking take away your dreams now. And that's powerful shit.
Oh, mate, we're playing with spite, and I love it. It's something people always said in sport, and I never really understood it. But you playing to prove them wrong, and I was always like, that can't be a motivator, mate. We're playing and proving people wrong. It's, as Terry keeps calling it, it's a revenge tour, and it's real, and I'm really happy to be a part of it.
Let Dog, Brisbane in a week. What's going to happen? You are like Let Dog at Adamus.
I did say we'd score 72 points, win 72-68 on the team stream, so it's pretty close. Look, how we haven't had the fully complete game yet, and I know you can't have the fully complete game in finals, but I think we're going to get as close to it as we have in the last sort of 4 weeks. I just believe that we're gonna make the forward line connection work, and I don't think it's going to be a low scoring game again. I think we're going to kick goals, and I just truly believe we're gonna beat the Brisbane Lions and play in a grand final.
Leg Dog, I love you. Leg Dog, honestly, mate, I've spent 2 hours with you. Best hour and a bit of my life, to be honest. Love you to pieces.
Beautiful, mate.
I'll let you go and spend some time with your other wife, not me.
See you later, buddy.
Much love, mate. The Leg Dog, ladies and gentlemen, one of, if not the greats. Up next, a man that we talk about redemption tours, we talk about second chances and all that malarkey, but I always think any idiot can do it on a football field. That's easy. Do you know what I mean? That's easy. To do it in life and have a remarkable turnaround, that's hard. And up next is a good mate of mine, but a guy who's had one hell of a fucking year himself, Mr. Big Mark. Mark, how you doing, my friend?
Good, brother. How are you?
Oh, you know, mate, can't complain. Carlton a game away from the granny. Life's pretty good, mate.
Life's fantastic, isn't it? Mate, like, look, man, like, I think these boys, they've got something that you can't teach. You can do 100 hours of training a week, but one thing you can't teach is heart. And I definitely see the heart in the boys. I mean, they're playing with heart, they're playing with passion, they're playing with, a drive. They want it. As you said before, they can feel the hate. We're hated. We are absolutely hated. And how good is it to say? Because if you're hated, that means you must be something special. And they want to watch us fall, but we're just doing us, and that's the beauty of Carlton. Like, I don't know. I'm still speechless. Like, I've watched the replay about 3 times, and I still don't know how. Like, I just can't believe that I'm seeing my team in the prelim final next week. It's crazy to say. It's crazy to say. It's like
mental.
I'm a Liverpool supporter. I never thought I'd see Liverpool lift up the Premier League, and when I finally saw them lifting up the Premier League, it was like fucking ridiculous. Like, and the fact that we're going to Brisbane, and yes, it's going to be tough. Let's not kid ourselves. Brisbane are a good team, but why can't we do it? That's my question. Why can't we do it, bro?
Mate, 15 weeks ago, the newspaper articles were sack Voss, were failed rebuild. They'd even dragged out the old analysing sauce trades and saying who Carlton should have took. That was how bad it is. After the season we've had, they should not fear any side, because they have literally said, fuck form, fuck the history books. This is what we're about. So unless they're a team of demons or angels, I don't think they fear any mortal man on the football field anymore.
Nor should we. I mean, it's easy to win a game of football. Let's not kid ourselves. It's easy to win a game of football, but when you do it at the back of what we've been through as a club, as a supporter base, especially in season 2023, to come back from that just proves that we can do anything. And I don't care who we play. I don't care where we play. Like, I'm ready to play tomorrow morning, mate. I don't care. Bring on whoever they're going to throw at us. Bring on whatever opposition they're going to throw at us. Bring on Brisbane. Bring on Collingwood. Bring on GWS. Because on our day, we will beat anyone, and we will beat anyone very well. I'm not worried at all. I'm so proud of the boys. I'm so proud of the heart they've shown this year. I'm so proud of everything they've overcome. And I'm so proud to, I'm especially proud for the younger generation that don't know what a final is. You think about young Zach, mate. He doesn't know what a finals appearance is, and seeing his emotion every week on the channel is special, and that's what Carlton is about. And I just can't wait for the future, whether it's going to be in 2 weeks' time or not, whether it's going to be next year or not. I just can't wait, because I know it's coming. We all know it's coming home. When it comes, time will tell, but it is going to come home, and when it does, we're going to have the last laugh, and I can't fucking wait to celebrate with everyone.
Mate, does anyone else feel like you're in a movie? It's like a 1980s movie, because like every week there is something that happens that most normal people would be like, oh shit, that makes the job harder. Like this week, first 5 minutes, Cripps breaks his nose. Half time, Doc dislocates his shoulder. Do you know what I mean? They've got no forward to support Kerno. Their hero, Jack Martin's out suspended. Every time that happens, it's like the 1980s pop power ballad happens and a player suddenly becomes the hero. It's like someone becomes Tom Cruise in a 1980s movie. It's crazy. It's almost like it is a story that you're watching and you're like, that'll never happen.
Oh, mate, you summed it up perfectly, and that goes back to my first point. You know, it's hard. It's absolutely hard. Like, who would have thought, you know, if you said to me at the start of the year, Chair is going to go down, Walsh is going to go down, Harry McKay is going to go down, Jack Silvani is going to get injured, Jack Martin's going to get suspended in the first week of the finals. You know, if you said to me, Paddy Dow's going to come in and do a job towards the back half of the season, Blake Acres is going to be the hero 2 weeks in a row. You know, they're all role players for Carlton that I've just mentioned, like especially Blake Acres and Paddy Dow. You know, if you said to me that, you know, they're going to come in and they're going to lift their team to 2 finals appearances and, you know, come out on top, mate, we couldn't have dreamt of this moment 3 years ago. We could not have dreamt about it. 3 years ago, it was all, or 2 years ago even, it was all Cripper, Harry, Charlie, and Sam Walsh. Now it's the likes of Kayla Marchbake's doing a role. Brody Kemp's doing his role. Blake Acres is doing his role. Matty Cottrell, who, let's be honest, he was on the chopping block 12 months ago, is doing his role. Lockie Fogarty is doing his role. That's 5 players I've just mentioned that are doing their roles. And yes, they're not best on ground performances, but they're being role players that are carrying us to a prelim final. And in my opinion, that's more important than the 30 disposals, 2 goals that Sam Walsh has got. Because yes, he's kicked 2 goals, Sam Walsh, but without the role players, we would not be in this position.
Mate, and I think Con backs you up here. Champion team will always beat a team of champions. Like, this squad has that champions mentality. Like, I think Lockie Fogarty has been my favourite player to watch because this guy is hungry to do his job. He's not hungry for goals and touches. He's hungry to put his head over the ball, win a tackle, win the ball back, give it off. And he is just one of 8 players that their mindset is, I want to do for my team. I don't want 3 Brownlow votes. I want 4 points. Now it's wins, not kudos. And that's infectious when you watch the team. It's infectious on all of them.
100%. And if we're going to rewind back to 2022 towards the end of the season last year, you know, it's like we were nearly there. But a part of me tells me what we went through last year was probably the best thing that happened to our football club, because I don't think we will be in this position if we did not experience what we did last year. And I think that it just made us stronger, hungrier. It made the players, you know, want the opportunity a lot more. They wanted to grab the opportunity with both hands a lot more this year. And I think it's definitely, you know, set us for a good few years watching a fantastic and great football club do what they do best, and that's win games of football.
Matt, what happens at the Gabba?
Oh, we're
Tell
winning.
me.
We're winning. We're winning. I'm not. Nah, man. Like in the past, when we go into finals, about 10 years ago, when we went into finals 10 years ago, I'd be like, oh, this could be our last. This could be our last night in playing footy or whatever. I have not had that mentality once this year. Every game that we've gone through, yeah, all right, I've been a bit nervous, but we're winning. We're going all the way. We're going all the way. And if you don't believe now, then you're never going to believe.
Mark, I love it. You can't fight destiny, mate. Mark, honestly, I've enjoyed getting to know you this year, mate. You've had a fabulous turnaround yourself. You've had your own Carlton moment. So proud of you, mate. Proud to call you a mate. Look after yourself, and I can't wait to have a beer with you when we win 17, my friend.
Thanks, brother. Well, thank you, man. Love you lots, man.
See you soon, mate.
See you, bro.
Well, we've had Big Mark. I've got one man now who, even when the times were dark, this man was just pulling out stats out of his arse. Like a man who knows the toilet habits of the last 1,000 people to play for Carlton Football Club. Ari, hit me. How you doing?
Mate, what an introduction. What an introduction.
It's what we're known for.
Of course. It's your MO. We'll get the start out of the way. I'll obviously just get out of the way and then we can move on to the game. So, just in case anyone doesn't follow me on the Twitters or doesn't follow the besties on TikTok, and if you don't, then what are you doing with your life? The last time Carlton had exactly 4 players kick exactly 2 or more goals in a winning final was 1995.
These stats are mental. It's like, when you watch Penn and Teller, right? And it's like they explained the trick. I wonder if this trick would work in any other year and you've just accidentally found the cheat code and all of life is a lie and everything is preordained. And literally, we just need to give up in life. You could have actually realized that effort is futile.
Well, I can tell you right now that if we do win it this year, there won't be no more stats because it's one and done. I won't be able to replicate it. I tell you that for free. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Chills. Sorry, I'm gonna. He mentioned something on the rest where it was the last time. When was the last time 2 brothers had won back-to-back flags from opposite teams? I think it was. I know it. I'll say that on Wednesday. But I know it because I figured it out. But that's just a note.
Ari, you started doing this round 1, right? And
yeah.
I'd imagine in them dark points, just finding a stat for my reviews to make people maybe tune in next week was hard. Why did you start doing it, 1? And 2, how hard was it during the middle part of the year to keep posting these? Because I'd imagine Carlton fans started to turn on their own at that point. And if you were ever smiley, you were met with hate. So just talk us through them too.
So it started round 1, like about 5 minutes post the draw. My dad turns to me and he goes, "We drew in round 1 in 1981 to Fitzroy. I was at that game." I was like, "Oh, that's quite cool. Like, that's just funny." And then I was like, "There's no way we would have drawn in round 1 since then." And obviously, we won the flag in 1981, so there was no way we would have drawn a game in round 1 since then. So I was like, "Oh yeah, that's funny. I'll tweet that out. Whatever." We won the flag. Yeah, it was great. And then I also was like, "Oh, when was the last time we drew to Richmond?" We drew to Richmond in the semi-final in 1972, I think. And we won the flag that year as well. So that snowballed. And then the week after, I was just like, let me just find another stat. And it was, let me find it. It was the last time we beat Geelong by 8 points, we won the flag. So I was just like, I'll tweet that. And then it just kind of snowballed. And then it's just kind of morphed into something, a mind of its own. I think it was more when we were bad. I think it was more just had to keep going. Like, you can't stop. Like, once you've started, you can't stop. You have to go all the way. You're not gonna half-ass anything. So, like, yeah, I was really concerned as to what the potential would have been if we did, like, not start winning and we were out of finals contention by like around 18. I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna front up? I've been riding this wave for the whole year. But mate, we're 2 wins away. We're 2 wins away from my greatest thing ever. Like, I'm 19 years old. If we win the flag this year, I would have peaked. Life peaked. We win the flag and this has somehow happened. I've peaked. I will retire from everything. Like, yeah, just can't believe it.
Well, I mean, last time we were on this show, I stepped in as host of the rest with you. And I made a bold call that Port are so bad, if they win a flag, I'll quit YouTube. So I was actually quite good last night to see Port officially prolong my YouTube career. But no, Ari, I think your stats have been brilliant. It's the first thing I look for, win, lose or draw, like since probably round 10. I'm like, Ari will have something that'll make it somehow more palatable this this loss to Essendon. There must be a reason that they made me lose to Essendon, so I win the flag. But can you imagine if you win the flag? They will talk about you in pubs when you're dead. There was this guy called Ari that predicted it every week.
From round one. From round one. Not even from like halfway through the year. Although it was, to be fair, when I remember I went to Sydney for the Sydney game, and I was walking like out of the ground, and I had the stat, and I was about to film it for the Besties TikTok, and I just thought to myself, I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? This is just this, like, I need to stop. This is hurt, like, this is not good for me. Just this constant optimism, and then it's just turned, and we're 2 wins away. Or like in the blink of an eye, we're 2 wins away.
There is nothing better, Ari, than having that question. What am I doing with my life? As someone who's done this for a long fucking time, that has crossed my mind weekly at times. But Ari, Brisbane, is there any exciting stats versus Brisbane we should be looking out for? Have you done a research of potential ones? Is there something you can give us, sneak preview, that we want to be cheering home that could literally cement 17?
Well, I don't have anything on me right now. However,
On the spot.
Okay. All right, yeah, I've got one. I've got one for you.
Here we go. Live stats, chat. Stats.
So in our last finals that we've played against a Brisbane, hold on. Yeah. So the last three finals that we've played against the Brisbane Lions, we lost in 99, we won in 2000, we lost in 09. Trend has to follow, doesn't it?
Oh, win one, lose one, win one. Oh, all right. Well, I mean, well, there we are, chat. Fucking lock it away. That's just going to be my preview this year. That's going to be my preview. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one. It's the win cycle. So
has to happen. It's a linear like that.
Are you going down, Ari?
Oh, this is a conversation that I've had with my dad. If we get tickets, we'll go. I'm not gonna commit to going and not actually be able to get into the ground. But we'll try tomorrow. If we get tickets, then I'll walk to the Gabba. I'll start walking from now. So I guess it's just one of those things. But I can't, like, like when you think about just things that like could happen, and you like imagine when we're 2 wins away, or imagine when this happened, imagine when that happens, and it's happening like right now, like we're living it. It's just insane. And another thing quickly that I thought of was last year. The back end of the year was the last 3 games: Brisbane, Melbourne, Collingwood. We go up to Brisbane and get spanked. We lose to Melbourne in heartbreaking circumstances in the last minute via a breakdown in structure behind the ball, where for some reason we had even numbers. And then obviously Collingwood, we all know what happened. And look, we beat this fast forward 12 months. We beat Melbourne in the last minute of the game when they have a total breakdown structurally behind the ball, and they leave 4 Carlton forwards free, and we capitalise. I mean, I'm not going to say anything, but if we go up to Brisbane and do what not a lot of people think we can do, and then fate has it that we met Collingwood in a grand final, it's just the most Hollywood of Hollywood things to ever happen in sport, isn't it?
Amazon Prime must be kicking themselves in the dick that they didn't do the AFL documentary this year, because that would be the best thing. When did it dawn on you we were good? Because I had this moment, right, on Sunday night where, on the weekends, usually of the prelims, me and Mrs. Pond watch all the football. We sit down and we watch it and we get excited because usually our teams aren't in it. So it's like a good time where we just have a little shit bet with each other over that weekend on whose side's going to win. And it dawned on me when I saw Carlton's logo and it said preliminary final. Like, that was probably the first time I've had a moment gone, oh, fuck, we're good. Like, we're actually here.
Yeah.
Like, when did it dawn on you?
I don't even know. Like, it's similar to you because, like, in terms of normally, like, I haven't been able to soak in the final series yet because, like, every year I love it. Watch every game, fully invested in it because we're not there, so I can get invested in every game and I just ride the wave of football. Whereas now it's like I don't even know. Like last night, I don't even know what happened. Like, yeah, the Giants won, great. I don't really know like anything, right? So it's like I'm still just so like suffocated by it all, if that makes sense. But I think I'll tell you what it'll be. If the game's close, which I hope it is, and because I hope it is close, right? Regardless. And it's like the third three-quarter time, and I can just sit there and think we could be one quarter away from a grand final. Like that feeling, if that is to happen, is just like I can just tell already that that's going to be magical. Like because it shouldn't have happened this year. Like based on where we were, it shouldn't have happened. So we haven't had this. We've constantly been trying to prove people wrong instead of proving people right. So when you need to prove people right, it's kind of like an expectation. Like you can prepare yourself. We should be in a prelim, should be in a semi. So you kind of are able to like soak it in a little bit more. Whereas when you're constantly trying to prove people wrong, it's always like you shouldn't. Yeah, well done. You beat Gold Coast and Hawthorn. You're going to lose to Freo over there. Oh, we beat Freo over there. Okay, you're going to lose to Port. We beat Port. Going to lose to Collingwood. Bet Collingwood. Going to lose to St Kilda, and then it just keeps spiraling like that. So you're always just so engrossed in it all. So I think regardless, it's going to take a couple of weeks, regardless of what happens over the next fortnight. But it's going to take a couple of weeks to fully sink in. But there's a real reality that in 7 days' time, we're sitting here and we've still got one more game of football to play.
That's the mentality. Next week's earned, not guaranteed, and that's what's excited me. Knowing every week we get the honour of next week by winning. It's not just another game. I think knockout football in any sport is the best sport when you're playing for the right to play again. That's the ultimate test in sport, and Jesus, it's scary, isn't it? This time next week, we could be doing a grand final preview.
And that's going to be something. We don't have a like a divine right. I feel like the boys know that. Like the boys have this almost fuck you mentality where it's like, yeah, we know we're not technically meant to be here based on where we've been, like in the year. But it's just like we're gonna scratch and claw and knock down every single door to get there, and all bets are off. All bets are off on Saturday Arvo, and if we do it, oh god.
When we do it, Ari, I'm all about positive energies. Do you know what I mean?
It's all about manifesting. That's what the whole stats have been. That's what I've realised. I've manifested it. All my I've got my cousins are Collingwood support, and every time I say him, he's like, "If you guys win the flag, I'm blaming you because you're the one who's spoke this into the universe." So maybe if we do get it done, then maybe I can take like 0.5% credit, maybe.
Mate, I think there's a 0.5 for a lot of the fan base, mate. I think a bit of us has gone into this, mate. But Ari,
0.5
I love your work. I hope you get tickets, mate, and I hope to see you going mental at the Gabba and smash a bar up when we win. You can all be honorary English.
There'll be copious amounts of alcohol consumed if we do, and I'll tell you that for free. Drink responsibly.
Mate, drink responsibly. Much love, mate. I love your work.
Thanks, brother. You too. So.
Right, we've got a fan favourite on here. She keeps me alive during the watch-alongs. Lucinda, we're winning a flag, right?
Is anyone questioning that? Because I'm not.
There might be some mental people out there. I'm not one of them, though. But
maybe Brisbane, GWS and Collingwood supporters might be questioning it, but not us.
How was that game for you? Did you enjoy it? Because I've got like a real sick enjoyment of these games at the moment because they seem to swing and get hard, easy, hard. You don't know. It's really exciting. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, like everyone says heart attacks and all of this stuff. I was more just willing them on and just refusing to accept the possibility of defeat. Like it was not even on the table. And I started a little tradition against the Sydney match where I either filmed myself or the ground for the last few minutes. This time I filmed a few extra ones. So I have audio of me basically asking how long it was, and I think it was like 20 seconds. And I said, well, if they don't mark, meaning Melbourne. And then it was come on siren, and then hurry up siren about 4 or 5 times at really high decibels. And then I said how long, and then my personal favorite thing was like half a second later the siren went. So then it was a different kind of bouncy scream. So the whole match, okay, it wasn't the fairy tale start, but I knew that even with a good start we won by a kick. So my important part was, okay, get close, even if we're just behind, all the way through, because it can turn in a few seconds, and it did. So I wasn't concerned. It was more like, don't let this be the end. I mean, there was the heartbreak kind of, please don't let this happen. I knew that they wouldn't let it happen to them, let alone us. But there was the not this again sort of fear. And you saw the marathon essay I left on your review. I only took 2.5 hours to write, I think, and I was moving around too. That was funny. I think I only got 4 typos though, so that's impressive. But no, basically enjoying it would be like sort of an understatement. It was an unforgettable experience, and even Terry says divine intervention. Well, you're welcome. I was praying to Saint Anthony, like especially in the last quarter, because like obviously you can't involve God in these things, but Saint Anthony finds lost things, and nothing was lost. It was a loophole of finding a way to let their God-given talent, natural talent, and their skills to basically sync up, and that final 3 to 4 player combination. Well, it was a bit of a well, here you go sort of moment. I mean, it was all them and all their hard work and all the good fortune, but maybe it did kind of help a little bit more than just being one of 96,500 people screaming their heads off. I'm pretty loud, but I'm not sure if they would hear me when there's all that going around, and you can like feel the sound more than you can hear it. So there's that. Yeah.
Well, you've been going round, Lucinda, haven't you? Playing the Carlton theme music everywhere you go.
Yeah, I was in Big W in the shop, and I was a little bit timid to go full blast, but I was still like, enough people were like, "What's going on here?" But in a good way, they were grinning and stuff. And no, but now like whenever I go for a walk, it'll just be like full volume because free country, especially in Lygon Street, because I'm in Brunswick normally, but my grandmother's in Carlton, so it's kind of my kind of area and that sort of stuff. And I got this after Sydney, but I didn't show my dad until after we secured that one, and got 2 flags for when I most likely can't justify Brisbane. It's either Brisbane or the grand final, and I know which one I've picked, but that's basically showing my confidence. I mean, the media and the sports journalists and the experts and professionals can go as statistically against us as they want. It's on the day. And when we were down and out mentally, we only lost by 26. Yes, okay, it was in Marvel, but they also had this stigma about Gold Coast at home, and look what happened there. Now, I hope we're not 40 points down and then, have a romantic victory. I mean, if it has to happen, then great, fantastic, do it then, win under any circumstances. But if we can keep it close like the first 2 finals and then just either defend or just get over the line again. Nah, I don't think the Gabba will psych them out. And Boss has even said we're just going to basically go up the night before. We're not going to, do advanced different travel, and they're just going to approach it like a gettable, winnable victory, which it probably should be, because the pressure's on the Lions and all this, hype about them. I mean, it's not going to, psych them out, but they would be, confused because they wouldn't expect to see us there. And it might be more foreign to them than us just facing them where, okay, we don't have the best record, but there's a good time to start having a good record. And Ari's dad is like, well, win, lose, win, lose. Well, that's not going to happen, no matter how much, Brisbane wants. So if it's loss, win, loss again, win, then yeah. So the Brisbane people will be praying, but I think, I don't know. I mean, I did say in my review, just keep the energies higher than Mount Everest or whatever, like the whole time. Just freak out the night before if you're going to, but not before that. Enjoy what's happened so far. But no, like every single past match is out the door because it's on the day. Now, they might have a fluke of a great run and we might be, thrashing Port Adelaide form when we get there. So it should be close. I hope we're 2 goals in front with 2 minutes to go personally. But if we're, just scraping by like last night, well, I don't give a shit as long as it's our song at the end.
What's your prediction, Lucinda? You give us a prediction. What are we going to see? Is it going to be a tight one or is it going to be the Blues run home?
If Harry's in and goal assisting early, we could win by 20 or 30. I don't care where it is. That's not going to psych me out. But even in a situation like a mix of both games, I still think we win by a kick or just under. But in a, this has exceeded expectations, run through 30 points at least. And then the granny, well, it depends. If it's Collingwood, we win by 30. If it's GWS, we win by 15.
Oh, I like
so
it.
I think it's feasible either way, whoever we meet next. But we're not going to be so silly as to go, oh, well, we're already talking about the grand final. I mean, we were talking about the grand final a month ago, but we dared to dream, but we didn't realise that this would materialise. So we have to let the universal energy of the whole Carlton supporters, internationally through to local, Lygon Street, basically boo-yoy them over the line, however that looks, surprisingly thrashing or, realistic finals, small margin, and then get to the grand final first. But if we basically hear the Australian anthem on grand final day, no one can do them because they won't let themselves be brokenhearted, let alone their Carlton family. So no, if they get through this week, and it's a healthy respect that I say, if it's more a win, it's a win in my head and in my heart, but there's also the psychological that you have to respect how they got there. You have to respect their side. You can't just assumptively say you're stuffed. Not like basically what Brisbane are doing to us, we can't do to them because we're not like them. But I just don't see us losing anything else this year, and I don't see them getting through these last 2 weeks and then just not succeeding. I mean, it could be a 1-point win, and so whatever it is.
Well, Lucinda, I can't wait to see you in the comments of the watch along. You always get the watch along. Make sure that they're behaving, but love you to pieces. Can't wait to see you this weekend as we cheer the boys home.
It should be totally epic. And I remember in the GWS game, I was at the ground. I'm like, okay, I'm nervous here, and even I'm getting a bit like disappointed. I've got to go and see Pommy. So I was in both the ground and in there to stay sane. And yeah, so it will be good to be back in my usual element. But yeah, so I still think that they're not going to get this far and not go further. So I'm quietly confident. I'll freak out on the day, but then I did that last night and look what happened. Well, 2 nights ago now. I keep forgetting that it's actually Sunday now. But no, I freaked out a bit on the actual match day, but before then I was solid. So there's a bit of nerves early because of the statistics and how, stuff, just has transpired. But it's not the Carlton of 10 to 20 something years ago. And it's not even the Carlton that faced Brisbane most recently. And they'll keep them guessing, and hopefully we get on the board early and apply some pressure and keep it close and then overrun them. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? But however it happens, I just don't see us not making it through and then getting everything after that. So yeah, I'll be in my position in the watch along with my new flags and stuff. And yeah, we'll go from there. And this time next week, we'll more than likely, I'd like to say 9 out of 10 chance to be talking about a grand final.
Lucinda, we will definitely be talking about a grand final. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Thank you for coming on, and I'll see you next
all right.
week.
That's all Friday. Good. See you later. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Up next, we have the man with more books than Carlton have flags. Carlton are jealous of these books. Beachy, how are we doing?
First of all, you'll have to excuse the voice. Friday night, the voice decided to leave. So, we're happy. Put it that way.
Hey, Beach, man flu's never killed anyone, mate. You'll be all right. You'll be right for Saturday. How are you feeling, other than the cold?
Oh, mate. The voice left on Friday night. I was with my dad. We were there in the Carlton membership allocation. I'm going to put my hand up right now. There were tears. There were tears coming out of my eyes. But they were happy tears because, we've had to wait so damn long for another chance. We are this close to getting what we believe is deserved, right? Some of us have only been here since the 90s. I'm one of them. I was 3 when we won our last flag. I was 7 when we got to 99. This is our best chance we have now, and I want this to happen.
Feels like a lifetime, doesn't it, Beachy, since we were genuinely happy. But, I mean, like you say, like there's 3 things in my life that I question any human being, right, if they didn't cry, right? 1 is when you find out Bambi's mum's dead. 2, when that dog gets lost on that cartoon when we were kids, when he goes over and he finds out that his daddy dog died. And 3 is when Carlton won. Like, if you haven't shed a tear at any one of them 3 moments, fuck me, are you even alive?
You know what? Let's throw in another one for that. Kim Mufasa.
Oh,
Kim Mufasa dying. You've got to throw that in there too, Pommy.
Oh.
I mean, look.
You can make me cry.
I mean, look, it was. I mean, look. This was genuine happiness. Head was in the arms. Tears were coming. I hugged my dad. People were patting me on the back. This was absolutely amazing to be a part of. Biggest crowd I've ever been a part of in my lifetime as well, with the 96,000 people. It won't get any better than that, and I want it to get better than that anyway, because we want that cup. We want that.
We fucking do. I mean, there's a space at Icon for another one, another few. I mean, I think it's been such. I think with social media, like, I don't mean to downplay the other barren spells Carlton have had, but I think looking at the other sports I support and seeing peaks and troughs, now with social media, I think it's worse. Everything's worse. When it's dark, because you've got all the collections of thoughts, it's worse. I think 20, 30 years ago, it was maybe you and your groups of mates that could have felt the pain. Now you are feeling the pain with 100,000 people, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which helps sometimes, but it also builds how dark it is. It's a real weight released, isn't it? Like, for me personally doing this, it's so exhilarating. It's so relaxing. And I never thought I'd say Carlton and relaxing in the same sentence.
I don't think anybody did. Anybody would have expected that, Tommy. I mean, I'll say this: I certainly wasn't relaxed on Friday night. There was a lot of yelling, a lot of swearing, a lot of all that, which is why the voice is what it is. But it's worth it. It's worth it. And we all want it to be easier, but sometimes for these hard stuff, you've got to go through that, and hopefully This is another one of those next week.
Big game. Beachy. Brisbane. What's happening? Tell us. What's your gut telling me?
My gut is telling me we're going to do it. We're going to do it by 4 goals. I don't see it being as close as we have for the last couple of weeks. I'm not underestimating Brisbane in any way, shape, or form. However, in the last 2 finals appearances that they've had under Fagan, they've fallen at the preliminary final stage. And where were those games both being played? They were both played at the Gabba. This is something that we need to hold on to. This is something we need to remember. This is something we need to hold on to us to give that confidence. Boss will have that confidence in him. He will have that confidence in us. And if anyone knows that ground, Boss will know it just as anybody else.
I think you nailed it. I think this is a battle of wills and strength. I keep saying it in my previews. Stats don't mean anything in these games. All that malarkey. In a final, it's just will, want, and desire. And I think what you've just said there has nailed it. They know they have a mental vulnerability at home. They've done it before. It played on a Melbourne last week. Haven't been able to finish sides off. We played on it. We made it hard. Their weaknesses came out. Ours didn't. I think at the Gabba, this game, we've got mental Queensland fans. Mental. It's almost a home game for us because everyone in Queensland says Darren Lockyer is the best AFL player. They don't know anything about football. So we can play on that. We can pack the Gabba out as if it's a home game. And you know what? I think the pressure's going to be a lot. A lot. We saw Port under pressure at home last night. They folded. I think it'll happen again. And I think our boys are built for pressure, Beachy. They're built for it.
Yes, they are. And you're absolutely right. We have a mental Queensland supporter base up there. I was up there for the Gold Coast game and we were out there in our droves. Okay. Even for a guy like me from Victoria, who was up there for the weekend, the whole place of the Gold Coast was full of us. So I'm expecting us to travel down from Queensland, wherever you are or whatever. If you're traveling north, get there, pack out the deadlines, if they want to call it pack, whatever. We want to make it us, not them.
Beachy, spot on, mate. I love you to pieces, my friend. I'll let you enjoy the rest of your evening, but love you, mate. And I can't wait to do this with you when we preview a granny, mate.
Love you too, Pommy. Thanks, pal.
Much love, mate. Up next, we've got, you might have seen him just guest on the Besties. You might have seen him guest on when the Besties took over this show next week. You may have seen him on the House of Footy. If you haven't, do you even have the internet? Because there's only 2 things I use the internet for. One of them has a drum beat at the start of it, and the other is football content. I'll let you speculate what the first one is. Brandon, how are you doing?
These intros are unbelievable, Pommy.
They're very self-depreciating as well. So I mean, it's good. But how are you, mate?
Oh, I'm fucking floating, mate. Look, Pommy, it's September 17th, the 3rd week of September, and we're still talking about Carlton football. That is, at its core, that is what this is. There are 4 teams left, and one of them is the Carlton Football Club.
I had to check if COVID had come back, to be honest, when I checked the fixtures. I was like, maybe we've had a delayed season.
I don't know what's going on. Man, like, it's been mentioned 100 times. I'm just so proud of... It's the first time I genuinely feel like as invested as I am, as proud as I am of a Carlton football team. Like, I just don't know what to do with it. It's ridiculous. Man.
Yeah. Do you get this feeling, right now, usually when the game finishes, I could tell you everything that's happened in that game, like literally straight after. But Now in a final, I am so invested and the pressure gets to me that I would have struggled to name any players that played apart from Blake Acres. Like my brain was just so focused on the moment that I had to actually watch the game back for the review.
It's an absolute blur. It's at a point now where I feel like I can't actually talk about what happened until I watch it back, because I was just so in my own head. Like, it's ridiculous. And you talk about like Blake Acres, like the guys that are standing up now. Those mature performances. Our star's always going to perform, Cripper, Walshy, Wiedering, but the guys that stood up and had those mature performances is what we were asking for. Tom de Koning, Jesse Motlop, Ollie Hollands was brilliant when he came on. Like, watching it back, those guys, Lockie Fogarty as well, you said before, like that's the reason we're performing as well as we are. Those guys showing the maturity, showing that they can match it up to our other players. It's just it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It's so good to be a Carlton fan.
It's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, there's something that I'm really enjoying, that two of my best mates who we watch finals every year, they're Richmond and Collingwood between them. And I've got to say, my Richmond mate has always been a dickhead, more so than the Collingwood one, going, oh, this is a final, Pommy. Whoever loses goes home. You call that round 23, thinking he's hilarious. There is something magical about being able to talk about finals and a mate's team's not in it.
They're not in it. And they're not in it. I can have that.
I found it really hard not to be a dickhead. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I am enjoying it so much.
Look, but even if we are, like, deservedly so, it's our time to lap it up now. Like, what are we meant to do, Pommy?
Well, I've always said to people that when Carlton start winning, I'll be easy to hate. I think I'm fulfilling the prophecy as much as I can. But the big thing I wanted to ask you is, you just mentioned the shit players that usually we slag off who are coming high, right? And I mean that with love when I call them shit players. I went through my comments at the end of season review last year, and literally 90% say the same thing. Until we get a bottom 10 that doesn't include Lockie Fogarty, David Cunningham, Marchbank serially injured, Carlton are never going to be good. And I went through the names. I'm not picking on people because, let's be honest, 99.9% of people thought that, apart from their mums and dads, to be fair, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking, Jesus, the names that have been listed here are literally the guys that are winning football matches now. And how amazing is that? Like, if you told me this time last year, Lockie Fogarty would have 50% of the touches in a final that would result in Carlton scoring, I would have probably slapped you. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, like we can't know that in hindsight, but I think in hindsight, what we can realize is that it's not a matter of getting rid of those players. It's letting them grow into the position where they're going to be impacting at this level. And that's what they're doing. It's what they're going to continue to do for the years to come. But yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing to watch.
You know, as a man that covers a lot of trade and draft content, I do get a feeling that we've got a bit of a 2017 Richmond about us, where there is someone on our list that someone's going to overpay for because of what they've done in the finals. Like, I was thinking, when you do this 22, it's so hard when everyone's fit. I was looking and saying that some of these players we've fallen for before as Carlton, gone, oh, but he's played for a flag winning side. He's got to be good. I remember Callum Moore. Oh, he was on the list. Yeah. On the list. Played a couple of games. One of them was in a final. He was really good. Like, I was like, this could even help cement this list, because a lot of these players that probably are on the outer as well are suddenly valuable because they've got finals experience.
100%. 100%. It's, man, like these players are irreplaceable now. Like, we'll go back to Lockie Fogarty, someone like that. Start of the year, would we have even had him in the 23? No chance, nowhere near. And he's cemented himself now. It just guys like that, so valuable now. Like, if we win a flag, those guys are the reason.
My mate is a massive Freo fan, and I keep resending him the text when we signed Blake Acres. And I was on this show saying that he is literally what Carlton need. He's just that level below elite winger. but he's supreme. And my mate texts me and he goes, "Can't wait for you to find out, Pommy. He's just a shit Lockie O'Brien." And I keep sending him just the screenshot of his message back to him. It's been so much fun. Going, fucking hell, Lockie O'Brien's pretty good, isn't he?
Oh, Blake Acres done the last 2 weeks after that. Holy crap.
Just makes me laugh. I keep saying, I'll give you Blake Acres for any of your Fremantle players. If that's what you're telling me, you'd rather have Lockie. You just give us any Fremantle player and you can have him tomorrow.
Unreal.
What's happening? Are you going to Brisbane?
I've booked a flight. I need the ticket though. So we get the ticket, we're good to go. But yeah, I think we're gonna do it. I've been saying, like, on House of Footy last week, before finals, we previewed finals, and I said Brisbane will win the flag. And I still think they're the most well-structured, mature, balanced team. But this is the beauty of opinions. Things happen, you change your opinions. I think we're just so ready for this now. Like, it's been amazing to watch, and I think if we keep playing like that with the heart and the desire and the passion that we've been playing with, there's no reason we can't beat anyone. So I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win, Pommy.
Mate, I think you nailed it. And I think I watch a lot of the media because I like punishing myself. And the narrative I've heard about Carlton for the last 4 weeks is the same bollocks every week. And then I see another team do the same as us and the media lose their minds. And I've got to call them out now. SEN are the single worst fucking AFL-related media stream in the history of humanity. Like, honestly, like, they are dog shit. And everything that they drive, if another team does it other than Carlton, they get a huge kudos. And I heard something today when I was in the car from SEN, and some idiot was talking about Carlton were lucky versus Melbourne, that Melbourne couldn't finish off, but they were the supreme team. And the same person last week paraded Collingwood as geniuses for allowing Melbourne to have set shots in low percentage plays because that's their vulnerability. And I'm like, you have just said that Collingwood are favourites of the flag for how they did that and saying Carlton are the worst team in the land and got lucky. What the fuck is going on?
It's insane. But it's what we've talked about already. We'll just keep proving them wrong. It's all we can do. Like, the proof is in the pudding, Pommy. We've been playing unbelievable footy for weeks, bar that GWS game, which was the last game of the round. We locked in finals. The last 13 weeks, we've been proving it week after week after week. Like, what are we meant to do? What are we meant to do? Win the flag. That's what we can do to prove them wrong.
That's why I'm enjoying the narrative. I'm enjoying the narrative that no, they haven't lost at the Gabba. They're supreme. They're meant to be. I like that because the more you say that about these boys, I know that puts a target on Brisbane's back. And you know what? I reckon Lockie Neal's in trouble when Cripper lines up to him next week. Big trouble.
1,000%. All of that. Mate, we can do it. Also, just quickly, shout out to the AFLW girls because they were outstanding today. Unbelievable game of football to watch that one.
They were very good. Winning everywhere. Home, away, ladies football. Probably if we had an under-13s, we'd win that as well at the moment.
So good. So good. Go
Brandon,
the bloody Baggers.
Much love, mate.
Love you, mate. See you later.
Cheers, mate. And before anyone gets upset in the chat, that don't include Paolo. Paolo's my mate. But everyone else at the SEN is complete dog shit. Uncle Pom says they're fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible, right? Absolutely terrible, right? Apart from the Gerard Whateley call, he's a Carlton fan. I do watch-alongs for a living. You have no idea how fucking easy it is to do. To start giving me praise, chat. Fuck these guys. They get paid for it. I do it out of love. Up next, right? Up next, we talked about AFLW, but we have got one half of the greatest brains of the AFLW that exists. Her beauty is only matched by her ability to score goals from the pocket. Shannon.
Jesus Christ, what an introduction.
Hey, tell you what, can you imagine me? I lived in the time before Tinder, Shan. I was all about intros.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But no, thank you so much for the lovely introduction, Pommy. Long time no speak. How are you?
Oh, not bad, hey. I mean, we're one of the 4 best clubs in the land.
Can you
Life's
believe
good.
that? Can you believe that? I saw
Uh,
a stat today. After round 15, Giants and us were 14th and 15th. Now we're both playing off in separate prelim finals. What the actual?
It's crazy, isn't it? Like someone asked me the other day, when was the last time a team was at that stage in a bad position? I was like 2017 Sydney, right? And I remember 2017 Sydney because people were like crucifying them, sacking Halls. But I was like, it is bizarre that you go back 12 rounds and people were talking about Kingsley and Voss being mistakes.
Yeah.
And they fucked themselves. And now we are 2 of the 4 best teams in the country, which is mental.
I actually saw someone make a comment before that we're the best 2 informed teams of the last 2 months. That we both deserve to play off each other in the grand final. I can guarantee you we are all going up and we are all going to be going absolutely mental. And I guarantee there'll be tears either way.
It's really hard to get your head round, isn't it? That like we are 1 game away from literally having things like the things I've always wanted to be a part of. So like, you know, the grand final parade, you know, the float.
Yes.
I have been to that 3 times and I've always wanted to see my team do it, thinking, how cool is this?
Same. Well, last year I got to walk.
Away, Shan.
We are. And last year I got to walk in front of Cripper holding the Patrick Cripps Brownlow medal sign before thing. And I'm like, I can't wait for Cripper just to be sitting here anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what is exciting? I use the pictures quite a bit, right? Of, you know, the Captain's Day, like you're talking about, where they hold the cups. This will be the first year it dawned on me that no one will see Cripps with that cup and mock him, because he's proved that they can get there. Every year, though, we release that picture and I see some dickhead from Collingwood go, oh, he's got to play finals first.
Oh, fuck off.
Finally, he can literally hold that and go, there is a good chance I can get this at the end of this year.
Oh, can you actually believe that? Like, we're in a prelim final, Pom. Like, what? Oh my God. I'm still like, I didn't get to sleep till 2 a.m. And I'm just like, what is going on? We were all in absolute hysterics. It was fantastic. I need to go back and watch that last quarter again. Just cause. Like, just the raw and the fact that we were all singing the theme song in unison was the loudest thing I've ever heard. And I was at last year's grand final. We shit all over Geelong.
What was it like, Shan, there? Like, I know your little daughter, she's got into football this year as well. She must think this is really easy.
Oh, I'd hope so. She's asked for the Carlton theme song on repeat in the car the last week. So I'm like, hey, I'm happy to oblige. But no, last year it was crazy. Like, just the lead up and Robbie Williams, it's a different raw. Like, the actual raw once the national anthem goes off on a grand final day is completely different. Like, it's just mental. It's so amazing. I can't wait to be standing there side by side with my cheer squad family, experiencing that together. And like, we got an email today from the club around like, should we proceed here? Do you want a grand final ticket? Is the Pope Catholic? Like, of course I want a fucking ticket. So it's going to go it's going to go off chops. And I'm so excited that we're all going to be going up there together in unison and drowning out the Gabatoir.
And we are, great comment by Marcus. I've noticed we're starting to get a few celebrity piggybackers, aren't we? The WWE people were there.
Yeah, Leah Ripley was there or something like that. And I know, did you see the Robbie Williams video?
I did.
Oh,
I did. I am working frantically to try and get Robbie Williams on a watch along.
Can you actually? Oh my God, that would absolutely go off.
I am calling every favour I know and every mate I have in the music industry to try and make that happen.
Oh my God, if we make grand final, it has to happen. It has
He,
to happen.
he is my wife's hall pass as well, so it'd be the ultimate dream for her to see me and him.
Oh my
Call-
God. Her two
call the
favorite
game.
men on one screen.
Hey, do you know what I mean? Hey, maybe there's a Christmas album in the offing between us if we win.
Oh my God. No, just a Christmas album of chants between the two of you. That'd be great.
Oh, I reckon. Hey, look, I'm more than happy to take him on a night out and pay for his beers.
Why not? Why not? Anyway, I won't keep you too long, Pommy. I just wanted to pop in and say hi. Up
Much
the
love.
baggers, and let us come home from Brisbane with fucking smiles on our faces, because you know what? We're coming for you, Brisbane. Get fucked.
Get fucked, Brisbane. Enjoy yourself, Shan. Much love. All the
See
love
you,
to the
Pom.
family as well.
I will.
Cheers.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Right, here we go. Up next, right. There's probably not many people who are as excitable as me doing this. Bearing in mind, I do this show regularly with some of the calmest and most miserable people. But if there was a mini-me out there who is fucking off his head, it's this young man here. He's probably my favourite as well. Big Zach. Zach!
Hey,
baby!
Hey, Pommy, how are you?
Oh, absolutely ecstatic, mate. How are you?
I'm so good, Pommy. I was so excited that we won. The two finals that I've gone to watch was amazing. I went with my dad, and that's the most excited I've ever seen him. He was holding me in the air, and then I actually dropped my phone. That's all right. It was amazing. The atmosphere was amazing, and it's buzzing, Pommy. It was amazing, and we're here, Pommy. We're here. We're up against Brisbane. We're traveling there. We need to prepare, and I reckon they got it in them, Pommy. I reckon we can knock off Brisbane. They got everything to lose. They've been in the finals for the last how long? I think they've been in the finals for the last couple of years, and they haven't made a grand final. So the pressure's on them to make a grand final. So, and we have nothing to lose, because I've seen enough from them to come from where we have come from is so good. And all the fans are just like we have, even though it was a Melbourne home game, we had more fans there than them, and it was so good. I went with the march with Daniel Gorringe, with chanting and all that stuff, and it was the best. And I really feel that we can win the flag, Pommy. I reckon a lot of teams are scared of us, and I reckon a lot of aspects that we are better than Brisbane in those areas. And we just got to give it our all. We'll watch it. We'll cheer them on. And go the blue, Pommy! Come on, Pommy!
God!
Up the baggers!
God!
Come on!
Mate, that is the energy we need, mate. And I agree with you. How can the boys lose when they've got people like you, me, the guys in the chat and the stream screaming at the ground and at home? These boys have got an army with them. Like Melbourne have got Caden McDonald. That's it. Our boys have got 90 or 100,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
An army.
And I reckon what was I going to say again? Voss is he knows Brisbane more than anyone, and I think that's one of the most great things that we have, one of the biggest advantages that we have. And the boys are all pumped up and they're ready. And it's been so good this year, the turnaround, and everything, Pommy. And Mackay coming back in would be really handy. He just needs to have a big kicking a set shot. He needs to get his confidence back during the week. And then I reckon if he comes back in, he can kick a bag, Pommy. I reckon he'll be really fired up. Vossi will get him pumped up and to lift, because he needs to, Pommy. and we'll bring our energy and bring on Brisbane, Pommy! Come on!
Come on!
I'm going to go have dinner. Go the Blues!
Much love, Zach.
Pommy.
I love you, mate.
Love you,
See
Pommy.
soon.
See ya. Go the
Can't fight destiny, chat. You can't fucking fight destiny. And Zach is destiny. Absolute destiny. Up next, right? We've gone from passion, and now we're going to like a family lineage of football. This is, but not just family lineage, right? Before Google and before Wikipedia, there is rumors people used to buy this man a beer just to ask who kicked the second goal in round 2 at 2:00 in the afternoon. The man who knows everything about football, John Holden.
No problem. How you doing, buddy?
Mate, I'm good. How are you,
How
my
do you
friend?
follow Zach? I mean, seriously, how do you follow that enthusiasm? It's just infectious.
He's mental, and I love it. I love it.
So yeah, went Friday night. Went with my son Josh and Sammy, which you've met. Probably the best moment of my life. Like I've seen like five premierships. I mean, I've been lucky. Spoiled. 95, the whole box and dice. But to watch it through their eyes and to enjoy the ride this year with them, because they're both old enough and to enjoy it, to watch it and enjoy it with them, and guys like Paul and Mars and Terry catching up with them after the game, and that to see that excitement through them is next level. And when the siren went Friday night, I cried. I just burst into tears. My son grabbed me. He just cried. I looked over at my daughter. She was bawling her eyes out. We just group hug, just cried it out. I think the fact that I've been there, done that, and it's been 28 years since 95, you grasp it and you grip onto it, because I just took it for granted. Oh, it's going to happen next year. Every second year we're in a grand final. 28 years later, we're sort of knocking on that precipice again. So it's exciting times. I've got 6 or 7 people with my credit card details and everything ready to go Monday morning to get tickets. Josh has got a flight up there Saturday. Sammy and I are driving up Thursday. We've got it all. We just don't need the tickets now. So my sister lives on the Gold Coast, so organised with her to get accommodation. So we're staying there for the weekend. It's just the finer details of getting tickets Monday. So fingers crossed, we should get them, and we'll be off. So we'll be up there cheering, bag us home, hopefully.
Mate, I think this is a huge thing as well. Like, what has really, I wouldn't say surprised me, but maybe surprised me is just how much you hear community, you hear Hawthorn, they talk about being the family club, and there's a lot of drivel in AFL. A lot of teams say it. I have really noticed the family atmosphere of Carlton Football Club during these finals. Like you with your son and your daughter having these moments that are way beyond football. Like, you guys and girls will remember this when one of you passes away as a poignant moment. I'll remember a lot of the people in the Blue Abroad community from these last 2 weeks, like the times we've shared together on the watch-alongs, in the DMs, these face-to-face. This is a real moment, and I think you nailed it, John. You've been through it once. Appreciate every minute now, because this happening next year, the year after, 10 years' time, nothing is guaranteed in life, and you don't want to be too busy fucking about to not appreciate the memories you're making today.
No, exactly. And like you see it, like I speak with Rocco a bit, and he says the same thing about, Taylor and his son. And it's the same thing. And this Blue Abroad community and that we've got, it's like an extended family. Like we go to the game and you bump into other guys and girls that and they're like cousins and next door neighbors, and the community that we've built, it's infectious. It's so, I think walking out of the ground, just down the stairs, I think we sung the song about 8 times, back to back to back. And just walking through the city, it was going off. We haven't even won a grand final yet. So when that happens, it's going to be insane. So, no, I'm really looking forward to it. I think the best thing that's happened to us was that losing streak that we went through, getting Fogarty, Cunningham, Marchie coming in, guys who have been chomping at the bit to get into that side and would do anything to get there. I think that has woken a few of the other boys up to go, play for the jumper, not for your stats. Forget about getting 37 and 2 goals. Do your role, do your job, because that's what you got to do. And you look at all the good sides of the last, say, 10 years, it's won on the role players, not their stars. You go through it. No superstar has starred in a grand final or the big moments. It's the role players and that to do the job. And it's 18 guys on the field. Not one guy, not Paddy Cripps getting 42 touches and kicking 4 goals. It's, 7 or 8 guys doing their job, allowing everybody else to do their job. And I think that's the one thing that I've taken from since we went through that slump. Everybody now has learnt to do their role for the team, not themselves. And I often say it's we're playing for us, not for me. They've got that attitude now. It's us, not me, and it's team first. And it's it's infectious, and you can see them do it. The knock-ons, the tap-ons, the shepherds. 12 weeks ago, there was no shepherds. Like, you'd watch them just hang back and like, gimme. Now they're putting their body on the line to allow the next person to get a free, kick up the line or put their body on the line so someone can mark the ball and get a handball receive. Not be out the back going, pass to me, I want my stats to look good. And that's one thing that I've noticed, the biggest turnaround, is we're playing for us.
I think that's the best point, and I think the last play of the game is the biggest turning point from where we were to now. Because my big pet hate when we were losing was how obvious we'd exit defensive 50. And it was always the same players. It was always Wheater kicking to Doc. He ignored the younger players. It was like a habit of keeping it to the same players. And you go back and watch that play. To his left, he's got Sard. Doc has got a corridor run already. And Hollands is out on his own in the right. And without a thought, Wheater looks up and goes, you can do it. Biggest play of the game. He trusted the youngest, most inexperienced player. And that said to me that this team doesn't care if you're a 100 gamer, 500 gamer, you've won a Brownlow, you've won an AA. You are a player of this football club and you are built to make that moment happen. And that was phenomenal to see.
Absolutely.
Ollie Hollands be given the trust.
Absolutely. I saw, I go every game, and we will generally sit behind the goals. And the amount of times you see Ollie Hollands or one of the younger guys open and they go down that left side, kick to a pack, and you're thinking, give it to these guys. They've now got trust in each other. Like you said, the biggest play of the night, game on the line, he cuts across, hits Hollands, Hollands goes to Doc, and away we go. The next play, Ollie's putting his body on the line again, time and time again. So those guys like Hollands and Cottrell, these role players who are putting their body on the line going, if it's good enough for me to do it and I'm on $200,000 a year, you're on $400, $500, $600, $700. You put your body on the line. You get up and you go and do it. And it's woken these guys up. You see them now, like I said, they're playing as a team. And it's onwards and upwards. And like Zach said before, Brisbane, like Melbourne, like Port Adelaide, they're the ones that have got to lose because they've been here, done it, and not gone anywhere. We've got nothing to lose. We go up there, just, you know what, bring it on. Because you're the ones that everyone's going to question. If we lose, they're going to go, geez, Carlton tried hard, not quite up to it. Look where we come from. Brisbane lose, they've failed again. Fagan's under pressure. Neil's under pressure. Everyone else, they're going to be questioning like they are doing Melbourne now. Port Adelaide last night. Everyone's questioning, have they got the balls to do it? Do they have the guts? Brisbane will be shitting themselves at the moment thinking, Carlton on a roll. They've just taken everyone in front of them. Brisbane, they'll be sitting there going, oh, my God, what's coming our way? Where we're going, bring it on, boys, bring it on. We're not scared of you. They'll be shitting
John,
themselves.
I think you've nailed it, because I was really excited when I was reading the paper yesterday and they were saying it's Brisbane's to lose. Because I was like, last week you told me it was Melbourne's to lose, right?
Yeah.
They were the form team. I love the fact that they're underrating it, because you can guarantee, like you say, Carlton, final siren goes, Carlton win by 12. Within the morning, is Fagan the man?
100%.
Do they need to do a rebuild? Has it failed? This is their 4th loss in a row. This is going to be... They won't write that about us. Like, if we lose, we were meant to. They've got that pressure.
We weren't meant to be there, let alone meant to be in a final. So for us, every win's a bonus. For them, they lose, that question mark, everything. Like 3 weeks ago, Brisbane are the team to beat. They're the ones that are going to be in the grand final. Now it's the opposite. It's them to lose. They're the ones that got the lot, you know. So bring it on. That's all I say. Why not us? We've been saying it all year. Why not us?
You can't fight destiny, John. You can't fight it, mate.
No, we can't.
There's something destiny about it. What are your predictions before I let you go?
I think we'll do it by about 15. Yeah, 15. I think two and a bit. Probably 3 kicks. So between that, 12 and 18 point mark, I think we'll just having Harry and Jack Martin come back in, and J Mart is so important to that front half. The pressure, and you notice it the other night when we were playing. We missed him. We really, really missed him. Having him in there, the ball just stays in the forward half because he brings that pressure and he brings that tenacity. And he reminds me a lot of an Aaron Hamill, who, without the ball, he was the hardest tackler, the most ferocious player I ever saw in the front half of the game. And that's Jack Martin. Like, he hits to kill. Like, it's almost like he's got a license to kill, but he doesn't do it. I mean, he did last week. He gave a sort of sneaky one, but that's out of character for him because he normally cleans them up legally. And he hurts. They all say it. Like, when he hits and he hurts. So Brisbane are not going to know what comes. They're not going to know what's coming.
Mate, I agree. Brisbane play football. Brisbane are an attractive side. And
they play
the times they've struggled this year are when teams have been dogged and made it a scrap. And we love a scrap. Like, these 2 finals we've played couldn't have gone any better because both sides have been stupid enough to play slow, physical football, hoping we'd fold under the pressure. We're built for that. And I think people forget, with Harry and Jack, we can play sexy football. This week, we can match it and play gracefully as well.
It's a bit like a prize fighter and a street brawler. Brisbane being the prize fighter with all the titles, and we're the street brawler. It's just, we'll bite your nose off, we'll rip your fucking eyes out. We don't care. Where Brisbane will be, oh, no, you can't do that. It's against the rules. We don't care. We're going to fight to the end. And I think it will. I think it'll go down. It'll be another close game. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I just hope it's a good game, and we get through it,
Mate, and a grand final with the Pies awaits. Like,
absolutely,
that would be the best day of my life because that's all I've ever wanted. A granny versus the Pies.
I've seen that a couple of times and attended well, so no, it'll be good. All right, Pom, I'm going to go, John, mate. You've got other people to talk to. Take care, mate. Love you heaps, and I'll can't wait to have a beer with you come finals time.
Mate, I can't wait. I will be a mess. I will be live all post game.
You and me both, buddy. All right, mate. Have a good night. Take care.
Cheers, mate. Much love. Up next, we've got a man that has been patiently doing what all Australians do to English people, and that is flip a cricket ball to intimidate us. But unfortunately, this pom ain't intimidated. Big Chris, how you doing?
Hey, Pommy, how's it going?
That is a cricket ball, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is, man. Yeah. I found it in the I don't know, park down the road, and I thought I'd just snag it. It's mine now, so.
Mate, I love it. How are you doing anyway? How are we feeling?
Very good, man. Absolutely buzzing. Like, the footy that was the best game I've ever been to. Best win. That was such a rush. Like, I went with my brother and one of my best mates and his dad. Mate, I got there at lunchtime. I got there at 12:30, and I lined up outside the NCC stands, because it's GA, right? So I'm an NCC member. I didn't have a ticket. So if you get there really early, you can then just find a spot, one of the couple thousands that are available. But you got to get there super early. So I went there at lunchtime, got the laptop out, and I worked from home on the concrete and survived the sun and just waited till 5 p.m., got through the doors and just got mad seat with, people that mattered. And yeah, like super nervous, but man, that was amazing. That was the best game I've ever seen. And the win was just crazy, like such a rush, so.
It would be one of them games that I wish I could find a way to have watched it impartially, because I think both of Carlton's finals would have been the best games ever to watch if I didn't care who'd win or lost. But I can categorically say I did not enjoy watching it because it was so fucking nervous. Like, I mean,
no, I agree. Yeah.
It's one of them that my mates are all telling me who support other teams. Oh, that was the best final I've ever seen.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
And I'm like, Jesus, mate, it was hell on earth. Like, what are you on about?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I need to rewatch it. Like, I actually don't remember it. I just don't remember it. Like, it was just an absolute blur. But yeah, everyone said it was basically, as a neutral, one of the best games that you could watch and whatnot. But yeah, so this scarf is glued to the neck for the week or the next 2 weeks, hopefully. So yeah, I think my mates are already sick of me after last night. So, it feels good, man. Like, yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah. Like, been watching footy forever, and finally we are actually showing something. So it's fucking good.
Mate, I am obsessed with finals football. Like, as a Carlton fan, that's weird, but I love the finals. Like, it's my favorite time. You get to see it. I never really appreciated how amazing it is, though, when your team's in it. Like, the thrill. I love doing the watch along, knowing this could be my last watch along. Like, I don't know. There's no next week. We have to win for me to be on next week. So it makes you feel really more invested. Like, I get really, really into it. And I get a bit excited round 13 versus a side you've never heard of. So I am loving that atmosphere that next week we earn it. We don't get it. It's so exciting.
Yeah, 100%. It's interesting as well when your team's in the finals, because there's like another layer of, like, you're watching other teams and there's strategy behind it. You're hoping that this guy gets injured, or like Collingwood lose, or I don't want to play that team. So hopefully, they get, knocked out and stuff, but not used to that feeling. Yeah. Where you're watching another game in the finals and it has mad implications on your team. Like, finally, yeah, fucking finally. But yeah, I'm off to Brisbane this week. So we bought a flight today, and should have bought it on Friday. I searched it and I was like, oh yeah, I'll sort this out later. And gee whiz, they've gone up in price, so hurt a little bit, but worth it,
Mate, people should have done what I said last week, right? And bought the ticket, and worst case scenario, you can just have a wild weekend.
Yeah. I don't know. I reckon I'm going to win now, yeah? So, like, before the Melbourne game, a little apprehensive. After the Melbourne game, we're going to win the premiership. That's the feeling. So it's worth going to this one. We'll slay the Lions at the, like, Gabatoir, whatever they call it. And then I think we'll play GWS in the grand final. So there you go. I think Collingwood are absolute pretenders. They got absolutely nothing,
I really want the Pies in the final, though. There's something about beating.
Oh, I don't know, man.
I just think beating your fiercest rivals in the final is the ultimate. It's the ultimate.
It definitely is, yeah. But there's just a self-preservation thought, like my health, man. Like, it's just too stressful. Like, Yeah, it's so stressful. My same guys I went to the game on Friday, I went to the round 23 against Collingwood, and just the heartbreak, the pain and suffering from that freaking day, man, that was just scars. So the thought of playing them in the grand final, I guess, when we beat them, it'll be that good. But yeah, I don't know. I just like to see them lose, man. I'm just sick of them. They're so arrogant. We have heart and they just have arrogance, So
best time to remove someone's arrogance is the grand final day.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. We'll go for a 1 point win against Collingwood, and Maynard gets tackled by Motlop and shits his pants. That will be brilliant.
Well, Chris, mate, love you to pieces. Thank you very much for coming on. Enjoy your time in Brisbane, mate, and hopefully see you next week where we can digest a grand
For sure.
final.
Thank you, Pommy. I love the content, mate. You keep it up, man. It's mad.
Cheers, mate. Much love.
Cheers, bro. Catch you later.
Cheers, mate. Can I just say, I've seen some Brisbane fans in chat. Like, what is going on with your lives that you're here watching a Pom talk about Carlton? Where did life go wrong for you? Where did it fall off? Johnny, Brisbane fans, call your mum. Call someone else's mum. Get a hug. Uncle Pom demands it. Up next, right, he's a staple of this. I've always wanted to talk to this guy, right, because he's really intriguing. And he's got a bit of energy, and he's a bit fun, and he's a bit cool. All the things I'm not. I've got the man, the myth, the legend, the wordsmith. I've got Kurt. Kurtie, baby, talk to me.
Pommy, you Yorkie fucking geezer. How's it going, mate?
Hey, I'm pretty good. I am pretty good, my brother.
Fucking, I'm as chill as a fucking pig in shit. We're gonna go through, mate. We're going through. That's it. That's it. It's the way it is.
Can't fight destiny, mate. Can't fight it.
No. And we're gonna be saying Welsh, Chera, Crips, going through the guts like a gallon of milk, baby. We'll be fucking pumping through goals. It's all good. It's all good. It's gonna happen. And I'm seeing fans around the comp, raving around their fucking pathetic fucking receipts about how we were abusing players and wanting to sack fucking Foss and wanting to nuke the club. You know what, baby? Freaking humble pie is better than my fucking mum's parma, mate. Humble pie is more delicious, baby. Humble pie. Keep being salty, my dudes. Keep being salty. I love it. I love a bit of fucking salt on my fucking humble pie, mate. It's keep going. Keep going.
I've got to say,
we're Carlton, mate.
There's something beautiful about now you can see the banter from opposition is from a scared place. It's not laughing.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, shit. Carlton are actually good.
They're going through the stages of grief, baby. They're going through the stages of grief. They don't want us to be good. They hate it. And I love it. I love it, Pommy. It makes it going through all this makes it more sweeter. Yeah, it makes it really freaking sweet. It's like I've always wanted I've gone through Carlton through the most mediocre times, and I just wanted to experience the salt like the old fans have done, have gone through, and I'm just loving it. I'm just taking it moment by moment. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Kurt, were you there? How were you feeling after the final siren went? Talk me through how that night looked.
On the night, I was shitting myself. But watching the replay, I realised that Melbourne were rather performative. Like, I've never seen a bunch of performative, tough guys than going through Franga Station with Franga Eshays. Like, it was pathetic. Like, seeing freaking Gorney with that pathetic smile throughout the national anthem, and then you seen freaking Pickett freaking sniping everyone left, right, and centre, and they were panicking because they realised. Because I played rugby league, and you know rugby league, it's a psychological game, yeah. And I realised that hey, they were trying to break us because they were trying to break us. They were trying to break us, and they couldn't. And they were shitting themselves. They were shitting themselves, and I realized, if Brisbane do that, if Brisbane try to do what Melbourne did, we got it. We got it. And you could set up the narrative. Oh, they haven't won a game they haven't lost a game in the Gabba or what have you. But what it got that's just instinctually sets up the arrogance even more towards Brisbane's end. And if you watch, like, you support like successful clubs and all that, the Rangers and Man U. There's some moments where you feel like, oh, there's a bit too much arrogance here. We feel a bit too entitled, and you go through the week feeling a bit off, and that's what I feel Brisbane are going through, and Brisbane fans, like they're just penting up the arrogance and what have you. They're gonna go through us. Nah, we're gonna win, mate. It's set in stone. It's set in stone.
Kurt, I feel you. When I saw Melbourne doing that, it reminded me of playing football back in England when you play a shit side and they come out to hurt you because they know you're too good. And I saw a side literally say to me on the first whistle, "Oh, we can't beat you if we play football. We're going to have to beat you up." And we reacted. We just played our game and said, "Go on then, keep doing it." And they were getting more angry.
That's what Melbourne did. They were trying to take us off our game through fucking grubby tactics. And I love grubbiness. I love grubbiness. That's what I was. But you get a sense that, hey, it wasn't working, and they're trying to double down. And you know what? The scoreboard may be a bit close, but psychologically, we destroyed them. We flogged them. If you watch the replay, we psychologically destroyed them. And that's more. Exactly. That's more impressive than flogging Melbourne by 50 points. You want that through a finals.
And Kurt, what's your prediction next week, mate? We've got the Lions. Everyone's talking about them. Everyone's saying they're better than us. What's your thoughts?
I got the Blues by 10. But it's going to be close. It's going to be close, but it's going to be another psychological battle. But I reckon we got them. They like playing the fancy, clean ball, and if we take them out of the game, and we probably will, we most likely will. We got them by 10.
Oof, I like it, Kurt. Man, honestly, your energy's infectious, mate. I can't wait to have a beer with you when all this is said and done, Kurt. Much love, mate. Look after yourself.
Love you, Pommy. Take it easy.
Much love, bro. Right, up next, we've got a guy who's waited patiently. I've got to be off here in 15 minutes for thingy, so we'll try and smash through as much. I've got like 7 of you in the waiting room. I've got the legend that is Ethan K. EK, how you doing, brother?
Well, you can't be doing much better these days as a Blues fan, can you, Pommy?
It's probably the most fun I've had clothed, I'll be honest.
I tell you what, fan cams is becoming like trying to get past the ticket tech lounge these days, the amount of people trying to get on, but it's good to see.
Oh, mate, it is mental. That waiting room is, it's like if Taylor Swift started an OnlyFans.
I heard you asking before for a bit of credit, and so I'm here to give you a bit of credit by saying that people should listen to you more often. Because I think after every win this season, you've said something that's really resonated with me, and that's that we deserve this. And by God, do we fucking deserve what's happening right now with this football club?
We do, mate. We really do. I don't know if you do it, but I've started doing it recently. A good mate of mine is a psychologist, and they were worried about me after the Essendon game. They were clinically worried, and when we started winning, they said something to me that sometimes you've got to remember how bad something is before you ever get upset. And they advised me to go and watch the Essendon fan cam every game when we win, just to remind myself of what it's like when it's not good. Are you finding that you do find now? I've started going way back, like the GWS loss, the Collingwood loss last year, like going back and trying to remember what I felt like, just so I can appreciate what I'm feeling now.
Oh, 100%. I think that Essendon loss in particular, that was probably my lowest point this season, because I'm sort of, I don't know, I'm sort of sick in the head in that I'll pull this club apart when we lose, but I'll still go back each week and go, I think we can win this game. And I went into that Essendon game going, I think we've got these flogs. And then when we lost that game, I thought, oh, where am I at with this club? And if you don't mind, I'll chuck at I know I'm not the stats guy, Pom, but I'll chuck at a factoid for you. It's not my own fact. I'm borrowing it from the king that is Swamp on Twitter. So back in round 18, when we played Port Adelaide, he posted a stat of how long it took each AFL club to get to 200 wins in the 2000s. And so Geelong did it first back in round 2 in 2013. They were the first club in the 2000s to get to 200 wins. And the last club to do it, taking away the expansion sides, was Carlton in that Port win this year in round 18. And so when I say we deserve it, like every club's gone through their hard times, from your small clubs like your St Kildas and your North Melbournes to your scum that play out of Windy Hill or Tullamarine or wherever the fuck they play these days. But we actually deserve this so much. And so I hope that the fan base is just soaking this in. And I can't believe that over the next couple of days, our fan base gets to fight over team selection for a preliminary final. Like that's crazy.
It's mind blowing, mate. I mean, it's mind blowing it took Carlton that long to win 200 games, but I'm not surprised. And it is mind blowing that we are talking about finals on the 17th of September. Like, what an absolute scenes, to be honest.
Yeah, it's nuts, and something that I think we shouldn't take for granted. I know there's a lot of chat about, oh, we shouldn't be here, like theoretically, given where we've come from, and that whole stat about where we were after the bye this season and where GWS were. But I think we go into this game manifesting that we're going to do everything we can to earn our place to play another game this season. And then once you're there at the G in September, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. And Ethan, before I let you go, what's happening this weekend? Tell me. Be Ethan Darmus.
All I ask of the boys is that they don't make it a friggin' 6-point game or a 1-point game anymore, because the watch calculated my heart rate at 160 at the end of that quarter, and I wasn't even doing anything. I thought I was exercising. And so I'm gonna say 19 points to the Blues. I think we keep them. I think we keep them at an arm's length. We just play with them for the last half. We just get it out to that 3-4 goal margin and just go goal for goal until the end, see it out, and get to the G next week.
Mate, these goal victories, they're not good. Just so everyone knows, they're not good.
We're losing years on our lives.
Literally, I'm going grey at every stream. Like, I will be like Santa Claus by the grand final. I can't hear you, Ethan.
Now, got me back?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
I'll
get off anyway, because give you a chance to get a few more in the last 10 minutes, but I can't go without giving my boy Lockie Jack a shout out. Leader of the Plough Club. Never forget. We'll be gone next year, but we've always got Plough the Penguin in the background.
Yeah, you manipulated me to name the fucking Penguin Plowman, so he'll be forever immortalised. But Ethan, you and Lockie Jack, you've been good fun all year, mate. Much love, and thank you for coming on. And I'll see you next week to talk about a grand final.
See you then, Pom. Go back.
Cheers, mate. God bless. Right. I've got time for 2 more. I've got the legend that is Toby. Last time Toby was on, he made me cry. So happy tears, though. Happy tears. Toby, we are one game away from a grand final. Tell me how you're feeling, Toby.
Tommy, I am feeling very, very excited, very happy, but the boys have made me cry the last 2 weeks, Matt. I have cried. I have sat upstairs watching. After last week, my mum came up with me in the last minute of the game, and I was crying on the couch, but this Friday, she came up and I was crying again. I was sitting on the couch across from me and I'm crying happy tears. I can't believe we're in a prelim. We can beat Brisbane. I believe we can do this. I really, really am strongly believing. And if the boys can believe they can do it, they can go and do it. We're behind them. Every Carlton supporter here in Melbourne, every Carlton supporter in Victoria are right behind them. We can do this. We can do this. And if we show them that we can, and we're there with them, riding the waves, I don't even win or lose. I am proud of our boys. I am really proud of our boys. And I hope this gets shown to the club, because everybody at the club needs to see one of these. And I hope they do, because everybody has worked their butt off at that club. Every single body. I don't care if you're from the top of the board to the way down, to the drink carriers, to the trainers, to everybody who does a single job at the Carlton Football Club. Well done for helping us get there. And if we do this, we need to say a massive thank you to every single body who does it at that club, because they deserve it. They're part of it as well.
Toby, I think you've nailed it, mate. I mean, you know what? I mean, Toby, I'll say this, like the club has done well, but I mean, I don't think enough praise goes to certain fans. And I can tell you, doing this, one of the people that, and I speak for Terry and all the boys on Blue Abroad, you guys and girls in chat, people like you, Toby, who come on here and give love and tell us how you feel. I don't think you'll ever know how much power everyone in chat and on these fan cams has individually. I mean, I've heard you speak with Terry when we've lost, Toby, and I hear your passion and I hear how much it means to you and your family. And man, like, this is what it's about. Like, you've got John going to Brisbane with his family, but like he said, we're a big family, Toby. You're a brother to me, man. And like, we're living this together. You and me are in the prelims, baby. We're in the prelims.
Exactly, mate. And how good does it feel? Like, Pommy, imagine what the feeling's going to be like if we win. To get through to a grand final, holy crud, we'll live through it again and we'll go, all right, boys, now we buckle up, now we put the seatbelt on and we go and we are loud as proud. And Pommy, as I've said to you, Matt, as I've said to you, dare to dream, my friend, dare to dream, because we can do it. And Pommy, as you've asked everybody else tonight, my tip is it's Carlton, but I hope it's not another close game, because I'll be watching it with my beloved brother and my sister, who is pregnant. So I'm going to be an uncle in a couple of months, and I'm so happy to be that. I'm so happy. There is so much joy in my life at the moment. That, Carlton, what could be better, Matt? What could be better? Life is good. Life is enjoyable. And I'm loving the Carlton Football Club. I've cried. If we win a grand final, I will cry. I will celebrate for 6 months. I don't know what I'm going to do, Matt. I'm going to be the happiest human being in this supporter group. And as I've said to you before, Pommy, I can't thank you enough. I can't thank the Jumper Punch boys enough. I can't thank Terry enough. You guys have made my life in the last couple of years the best to be a Carlton supporter with an intellectual disability. So thank you, Matt. And I'm tearing up now, Matt. I'm getting emotional saying this to you because you guys mean a lot to all of us.
Toby, man, honestly, it's an absolute pleasure, honestly. Every so often, as an old man, every so often, someone comes into your life and just makes your life better. And Toby, I promise you, you have made my life infinitely better by being blessed to speak to you like this. Toby, I have a lot of love for you, and I can't wait to win one of these fucking things, give you a hug, and fucking sing the song with you, mate. I can't wait. Can't wait, my friend.
Absolutely, man. I can't wait to either come on to a fan cam and you all guys wait for me and I sing it with you all. And we sing the Charlie song. We sing, oh, how good is it, just before I let you go, Pom, how good is it to have Robbie Williams do that song on our Facebook page for Decoding? That is magnificent. I watched it today and I've watched it a couple of times. I've gone, that's going to get stuck in my head. That's going to get stuck in my head. And I don't care if it does because, Pommy, I reckon that might just have to come out in a watch-along. What are you thinking the same kind of vibes, my friend?
I'm happy to duet with Robbie if he wants to. Do you know what I mean? I reckon we can honour him.
I could see you two doing that, man. I could see it. But Pommy, if you do a Christmas album of songs, Matt, I'll join you for the Charlie Kerno one. Because that is, every time you do it, I sit there and I go, Pommy, he's kicked a goal. He's kicked a goal. You have to do it. You have to do it. And every time you do it, I sit in the watch-alongs and I go, LOL. So that's from me every time. And if you say it, you'll go, thanks, Toby. And I'm like, no problems, Pom. Just keep doing it. It's a good song. I love it. And all of my mates who are Carlton supporters, they go to me, Toby, why do you sing Charlie Kerno song? Because, oh, Charlie Kerno, you are the love of our life. Oh, Charlie Kerno. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. I want curly hair too.
Toby.
Come on, Charlie. Come on, the Blues.
Toby,
see
God
Matt.
Bless you, my friend. Much
Take
love.
crook out of here. See my friend.
Mate. Right, so now we have got the host of the next show. Pom's 3-hour stint is nearly over. Mr. Joe Obama, how are you doing?
Tom, you have done brilliantly tonight, mate. Brilliantly. It is fantastic to see everyone jumping on fan cams and just, mate, it is. We'll make this quick because we're starting in a couple of minutes, but it's you just can't believe it, mate. Like you still just can't believe where we're at. It's crazy,
mate. I fuck it. We're in a prelim final. Complete banter.
It's ridiculous. Mate, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just, to say that we'd even play finals from where we were was laughable enough. But the fact that we're living this reality and we just went through what was like, I don't know how that gets topped on, and we're going to talk about it in the show in a minute. But it is just mind blowing that you cannot wrap your head around this shit. You just can't.
It's genuinely bizarre. Like I was actually talking to a mate. He's a good friend of mine. He's a Sydney fan, and we were talking about the last time this happened, 2017, and where they were round 8. They were 17th. Like there was Horse being sacked, everything. But like, it's crazy because they got eliminated pretty quickly. Like we keep going. We keep going. Like absolute crazy times, Joe.
Nah, it's madness. It is genuinely madness. So anyway, it was fantastic to see everyone tonight, honestly, and it's just fantastic to hear all the stories and how much it means to so many people, man. Like, yeah, I know I wasn't the only one that was sobbing like a baby at the MCG on Friday night. I can tell you that. So no, this is brilliant. But yes, good stint from you today, mate. You've done very well, very well.
I've managed not to cry this week, so
Yes.
well done. Again,
Well,
getting
mate,
a little bit more emotionally strong.
yeah, I've got to now try and do that for the next hour. So I don't know how I'm going to go, but if you're up for some more content, you're watching live here, jump across to the Almost Blues Brothers stream on Blue Abroad. We're about to kick off we'll probably kick off in a couple of minutes after we finish this up, and then we've got another hour. Dan and Jules are ready to go, man. They are pumping.
Well, everyone, I'm going to go and get a cup of tea. I'm going to go and have a dart, and then I've got to go and join a Geelong fan channel in 10 minutes.
Yes,
so
very good.
make sure you go and support Joe. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me so we can have a little bit of a FAP session on a Sunday afternoon. I could have spent time with my wife and kids, but I prefer you lot. So look after yourselves, go Blues, and log on and give some support to Joey and the crew, and let's go and win a flag.
Let's go.